Hi friend, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to get those super thin pleats that drape beautifully for your pallu. Let's get started. The number one tip for pallu pleats is to iron your entire sari. Trust me, this is going to make the entire process so much easier for you. The secret to thin pleats is determining before you even start pleating how thin you want them. I mean, the pleats I'm wearing are a bit thick, but I definitely want them thinner than that. So what I'm gonna do is kind of eyeball it with my eye and lay it on top of the sari and be like, okay, that is the width of the pleat that I want. And then what you wanna do is pick up the sari at approximately the same spot. It doesn't have to be completely accurate, don't use a ruler or anything here, but you just want it to eyeball it and pick up the sari at 2 different points, bring it underneath and kind of lay it on top, and you've created your first pleat. And you're just gonna repeat that until you get to the other end of the sari. Now let me show you from a different angle so you really get what I'm doing. So you're really gonna see, so I'm just gonna eyeball it. I want my pleats to be that thick and that's it. This border is going to direct me. You can use any line on your sari, or if your sari doesn't have a border, you can kind of just eyeball it. And I'm gonna pick it up and place it over the next layer. And you can see that the first pleat is already the width that you want. And you can use this method really for any width of pleat. This is just one way to do it. And I'm gonna pick it up again, lay the sari underneath. And what you wanna make sure is that when you're folding it, this part is not going over this edge, the first pleat's edge. That's the most important part. You just wanna make sure that the first pleat that you took is the widest. And that's why making sure that the first pleat is the width that you want is important, especially when you want narrow pleats. I'm gonna continue doing that until I get to the other end of the sari. So when you have a few pleats, what I like to do is pin them down. And here's why. As you're taking these pleats, you might drop a couple or they might just come undone, especially when you're working with a puffy sari. Now this sari isn't that puffy, but I just don't trust myself to, keep these pleats intact. So just as an insurance, you want to pin them down as you're pleating. So every, 3 to 4 pleats is my kind of threshold to pin them again. And then you can just keep going. It's gonna take a little bit longer than when I do wider pleats. So you're gonna have a lot of patience for thinner pleats. They're also so much more beautiful, so it's worth the extra work. Once you're happy with the pleats and you've pleated the entire pallu to the length that you'd like, you're going to iron it down. And I like doing this part because when you take out the pins, you want the pleats to stay intact and have those nice folds. So just ironing it down helps in that process and make sure that your pallu doesn't look all puffy at the back. And then you can also iron out your chest pleats. And what you do is just put the last safety pin at the top of the ironing board, and then you just wanna spread them out. Make sure you like how they look, and then iron them down. What I like to do is just pick it up and then lightly iron this last part so that there's no harsh lines. It's okay to have harsh lines here and strong lines here, but you want it to be kind of soft here because it goes into just the rest of the sari without any folds. And that's it. This is how I achieve super thin pleats for my pallu. Now I showed you thin pleats in this video, but you can use this method for any width of pleats you'd like. I hope you found this video useful. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions for me, leave them in the comment box below. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and I will see you in a future video.